What's going on, guys? My name is Christopher and welcome to It's Complicated. It's a show where I talk about and showcase wristwatches. So if you like wristwatches like I do, you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe button and then click on the little bell next to that subscribe button and you're all set. Today, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about an audible I just pulled regarding my next watch purchase. Here we go. In case there's any new viewers out there, in this video I'm going to be covering 3 wristwatch models all produced by Seiko. One is the Seiko 6105. It is arguably their most iconic dive watch and it stopped being produced in 1978. Next one is the Seiko SLA 033. That's Seiko's limited edition remake of the 6105 that came out last year. And finally, the SPB 151. That's another remake of the 6105, but it's not going to be limited edition and it's going to cost less than half of the last remake that Seiko made of the 6105. Now let's get on with the show. So I was super pumped about the SPB 151 that's coming out either later this month or next month. I think it might have got delayed. I was up late one night and I'm on the internet and I'm looking around, I'm looking on eBay, I'm looking on Chrono24 and I started thinking, well, maybe I should get the SLA 033. It's made of higher end parts. It is a limited edition, so it's likely going to hold its value a little better than the upcoming SPB 151, but I really couldn't find any under $4,000. The SPB that's coming out, that's only going to be $1,300, and even after tax, that's not quite going to be $1,400. You can't really find an SLA, as I mentioned, for under $4,000. And buying the SLA 033 was just a little hard to justify. It's $4,000. You can pick up an original for right around half that price, but an original still costs more than the upcoming SPB 151. So the SPB 151 is the way to go for sure. No doubt about it, zero questions, that's the way to go. It's less than half of the SLA 033, and it has that Seiko 6R35 movement in it, which is a nice movement, 70-hour power reserve, etc., etc. And then I thought about it a little more, and that 6R35 movement, that's in watches that Seiko produces, and they cost way less than the upcoming SPB 151. I found one with that same movement in it for $825. The SPB 151 asking price is $1,300. So how can you really justify that? And really, the more I looked at both the SPB 151 and the SLA 033, there are little differences between the case of those watches and the case of the original 6105. So the SLA 033, absolutely out of the question. And the SPB 151, while it's nice, it's not quite that same case as the original 6105. And again, is the SPB 151 even worth the money? So then I find myself in another rabbit hole, looking for an all-original Seiko 6105-8110. And you know, why not? It does kind of make sense. You're paying a little more for an original than you will the SPB 151, and it's still possible to pick up an all-original 6105-8110 for about half of what the SLA 033 is going to run you. And without getting too personal, Martin Sheen's character in Apocalypse Now, his little voyage down that river, that has a great significance in my life. So I started looking at all kinds of Seiko 6105s. And I found some 6105s that were all over the place. I found one that was blatantly labeled as junk and it was extremely beat up, in horrible condition, and the guy still wanted about $1,600 for it. I found another one that it looked like it was in somewhat decent shape, but then I noticed that certain things on the dial were missing. Big red flag there. I found other 6105s that I felt had the wrong case back. Now, a lot of the 6105s I found for sale did have pictures of the movement. You get to get a glimpse to make sure that movement is genuine. But then I found a 6105 that caught my eye. It looked like it was in good shape. It was listed as running. It was also listed by its original owner. Although looking at some of the pictures, the indices were kind of too bright for the age of the watch, and you couldn't see any of that red on the stoplight secondhand. So a little bit of a bummer there. The case back was correct, but it was not opened. You couldn't see the movement. And finally, the price was a little low, but it wasn't absurdly so. Well, I did a little more digging around. I ended up fact checking the seller of this watch, Everything checks out. He doesn't sell any watch-related items. So this is it. This is his personal watch. He bought the watch in 1976. He wore it for about 10 years, put it away. Boom, now it's worth some cash, and he got out of the watch. I pulled the trigger. I gotta say, I was quite pleased when I received the watch. I managed to get the back off of the watch. I took some video. I took a lot of still images, and everything's legit. I think the reason the owner of this watch decided not to take any pictures of the movement or take any videos of the movement was because he didn't know how to take the case back off, or maybe he didn't have the tools. And remember earlier how I mentioned about the indices being a little too bright and not being able to see any red at all on that second hand? I think what happened was the original seller took pictures with the flash on to kind of get everything, and it made the indices appear too bright. Because you can see the indices aren't too bright at all, and there is some of that red left on the stoplight second hand. I think I got very lucky on this purchase. Do I consider this a steal? No. Is it a deal? Yes. I would argue that a 6105-8110 in this condition, I think it would go for about a couple hundred to maybe a few $100s more than I paid for it. Now, the watch definitely needs adjusted. It may need a full service. Everything is running, but it is losing about 3.5 minutes every single day. And the bezel is very loose. Probably needs a gasket in there. If you push down on it, it does click like it's supposed to, but you can kind of lift it up a little bit and it's very loose. But overall, this was a great purchase. One thing I quickly want to mention is I did not buy this watch with this strap on it. This is a replacement strap that I purchased from Uncle Seiko on a recommendation from one of my subscribers. So thank you for that, sir. So I am going to wait until I do a full showcase of this, until I do get the watch adjusted, maybe get a full service done on it, get the gaskets replaced, etc. If you guys have any recommendations for me of where I can send it to get service with all original Seiko parts, etc., granted they will be used, I understand they don't make parts for this movement anymore, please leave a comment below and let me know. But man, what an absolute stellar piece, and I'm very fortunate to be able to add it to my wristwatch collection. And that wraps up another episode of It's Complicated. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, like this video, share it with all your friends, and I'll see you next time on another episode of It's Complicated.
I told you not to stop. Now let's go.